a house today. I hope that all of you are doing amazing. And you know, it's Saturday, and it's October the 3rd, 2020. And today is coming the weekend. We actually have the chance to do something different. So, family, you know, like it's the weekend, and that's why we have honor to like always bring you the best content in professional wrestling. And we have right now the pleasure to have like a Lucha King, Felipe Jr. So how you doing, Felipe? How's the day going for you?
Pretty good. It's a good day today.
Yeah, ready to talk about your life, your career experiences in professional wrestling, right?
Always ready, amigo.
Always ready. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. See, we're celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month, and that's why Felipe is right here. You know, one of like the upper comer like figures in the professional wrestling, and also is carrying like the lineage and the heritage of like a lucha libre style. So Felipe, like before we start, you know, thank you family for watching every single thing of our content. Thank you for watching all the reviews, and see right now on another interview for you guys. So Felipe, tell me, like, let's start with the beginning from your career. Like, what motivated you to like go to professional wrestling? What was that for you?
As a young kid, I loved wrestling. Like everybody watched WWE when they were younger, but I didn't just watch WWE. I watched Lucha Libre, Mexican style Lucha Libre, all the AAA and so forth and so on.
Oh yeah, so that's what it was. So like, tell me a little bit about like, so like, who did you grow up like, you know, like watching? Like, what was your idol? Who was that person for you?
I'd say Rey Mysterio was one of them, of course. Eddie Guerrero, Blue Demon Jr. was one of them.
Blue Demon Jr. Wow, that's awesome. He was actually in like a few years ago in one of the Bailando, right? In your Univision, I think it was.
Yeah,
he was right there, and like I remember that. So like like you, of course, you have that lineage, and like, so how was it for you to say, okay, I'm watching this, you know, I really like it. You go to your parents and you go like, you know, I want to be a professional wrestler. So how did they take it? Because I know you are second generation wrestler, so you grew up in a wrestling family, I'm assuming, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My father was never okay with it. He never wanted to tell me I had uncles and family members down in Mexico that had their own promotions and, you know, did Lucha Libre back in the day. And when I took my trip down there, I actually got to meet him. Mi tío Felipe. He runs the company Aztapaluca de Lucha Libre in Mexico. Aztapaluca.
Okay.
My mother, she didn't care. But she was excited for me and supported me. After I met my uncle, I wanted to get into Lucha Libre and wrestling itself. So that's how it all started. Meeting my uncle and finding out that I have a family down in Mexico that does Lucha Libre, and that's where it all started, man.
That's where it started. I really think that like you having like a lineage in professional wrestling, having like some heritage in it, that like probably made it easier or more difficult for you.
I think it was still difficult for me because I started here and not in Mexico. The training I started here in the United States, and I did a bit of training in Mexico, but I'll get to that.
Oh yeah. So like, like I said to you, like you started training. So like, what was the first steps? How was the training? Who did you train with?
I started training with the Wild Samoans. They're actually located here in Allentown.
Oh wow.
Our main trainer was Samu Anawahi, and
that's someone related to Roman Reigns, right? To
Roman Reigns, The Rock,
Rikishi, Alpha, Sika, all of them, right?
Yeah. I started my first day of training 2016 in December.
4 years ago when you were 18, right?
Yeah. It was very difficult for me because before I went to Mexico, I didn't know that I had a family that did Lucha Libre. So trying to be someone that I didn't know, you know, a character, it was very difficult for me. But once I did take my trip to Mexico, I knew that Lucha Libre was in my blood. I'm a second generation luchador.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then that was probably when you find your voice, when you find your characters, like, oh, this is who I want to be. Because
Yeah.
when we met you, like it was really cool. It was like we all felt identified with you because, of course, like you kind of remind us like a Rey Mysterio, and like of course, like we love him. He's just one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And so then you start with the Wild Samoans. Like, tell me like if you could like a good memory or like a memory that you have from those days of training. Like for example, after your first day, we're like, okay, I want to continue doing this, or like maybe it's not.
They really pushed us to the limit, and I enjoyed every moment of it. There was never a day I wanted to leave or quit because I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to make my tío Felipe proud.
Oh, so like then, so you kind of like how long was that training for? With the Wild Samoans, how long did it last?
For me, it was 2 years of training. They really didn't want me to go out there yet because they didn't think I was ready. But I did myself. I went out there. I did the work. I did shows and after show, and up to where I'm at right now.
Oh, good. And, so like, and then you go to Mexico, right? If I'm not mistaken. What was different though? For example, what could you say that you learned in the trip from Mexico with the Lucha Libre style that you didn't with the Wild Samoans?
With the Wild Samoans, it was their training is more WWE style, NXT style. Down in Mexico, it's a different style of lucha libre, a different style of wrestling, and it's more intense, more tough. They push you even more to your limit. It's a very more tough training, I'd say.
Yeah, we know that like the lucha libre in Mexico is a tradition. Is actually more serious than what it is in the United States. So you probably had to deal with a lot of situations that you probably didn't like. That you were not enjoying yourself, but probably that made you a better wrestler. And you learn probably like to be a more high flyer because I've seen a lot of your matches and you pretty much hurricanes. You like do all of that. You do like a DDT, like tornado DDTs and like all of that. Like, you're pretty much like a high flyer, and that's what makes you, at least for me, like I love that. That's what like lucha libre style is all about. So
I love the lucha libre style. So
yeah, oh yeah. Have you been able to like get any advice from like any luchador or in Mexico, like who did like you able to talk to?
For a second I got to talk to Ray Bocanero.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around for a while down in Mexico. I got to pick at his brain a little bit, get some information, but he was in a hurry that day.
Yeah, that's what usually happens. But like, so you're there, right? And then you decided to come back to the States. So then, what happened with your career, Felipe?
Out to Mexico. I went there for a week. Some people don't know the story of that. I went to Mexico for a week. Finally got my first time to train with my tío Felipe. Mm-hmm. It was a week of training, and on the two days I had left there was a Friday and a Saturday. I got to work a couple of the other luchadors. It was very different, a very different style, different way of working, very fast paced as well. And
you can show it.
I came back with El Campeón. I'm the El Campeón now. El Peso Crucero de Lucha Libre Cruiserweight Championship.
There you go.
Yeah, all the hard work. Yeah, finally paid off.
Yeah, and also like Felipe, you did this like during the pandemic, right?
During the pandemic, yeah.
Yeah. So how was that for you? Because like for example, like they're like Felipe, you're probably exposing yourself, but the dream and the desire to accomplish something force you to do this.
Yeah.
So you even had to overcome the fear of a pandemic, but that's the reward right there. So you're El Campeón now. You're El Campeón Crucero, like you're like the Cruiserweight champion. So that's amazing. So how is that feel for you? And also, another question, how were like the precautions when you had to go there? What was the procedures when you had to fight? Tell me like the whole thing if you could.
Okay. Getting on that plane was very scary because I was putting myself at risk and my familia at risk too. But everyone had masks like here. Everyone had to be safe, 6 feet apart, all that. But it was very everyone. It was one match at a time, a limit of people around each other, and this pandemic is insane. But hey, I had to go out there and do what I had to do. My first time going wrestling in Mexico. I'm considered an international wrestler now.
Yeah, that's good. And then Felipe, I want you to walk me through the moment that you deliver your finisher, the driver. The lucha driver.
Lucha
I think that
driver.
was called, right?
I'm the lucha driver.
The lucha driver. That's what your finisher is. So like you're in the moment, like you hit that move. You know that like that your opponent is you put away the guy. 1, 2, 3. You're a champion now. How does this moment define Felipe from the Felipe that took that plane?
It was.
What was your first memory? What did you think of first? Like, what was the first memory that was in your mind when you were like the referee raised your hand and he's like, "You're a champion now. Tú eres el campeón, mi amigo."
I made my tío proud. I know I made my tío proud. Felipe, he's proud of me. I know he is. It was such a great moment. You feel different from winning a championship here in the United States than in Mexico, and then coming back to the United States, showing what I have than other people, doing it, becoming an international superstar in less than 3 years or 2 years. It's been a while. It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling, and it makes me feel good.
Yeah, and it probably makes you more. It makes you more than ever. Like for example, like now you actually gonna hope to come back though to defend that title.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're gonna have a lot of people after you, Felipe. So that's the life of a champion.
It's a lot to carry, and I have to watch my back because there's a lot of hungry luchadores in Mexico.
Yeah. So how was like when you win that? Like you go to the back and everybody was like welcome you or congratulating you. How was that? Or like everybody was like nice to you, or we're just like this guy that like just came and stole something from us. Just wait till he comes back and we'll get him back.
They thought they were proud of me. Everybody was very proud of me. When they first saw me, they thought, oh, it's another luchador. He's not a real luchador. But when I went out there and showed them what I could do, and showed them that I could be el campeón, everybody knew that Felipe Jr. was being very serious.
Oh yeah. I love that. I love like your seriousness, your intensity, and how much you care about your character, and you care about like how serious professional wrestling is, and it should be. So like, tell me like about what would be your dream match. Because I have like for example, you like a guy like Kalisto, a guy like Mysterio. Would you like a Grand Metalik, Lince Dorado? Would you like those guys, or like for example, I will say to you, the thing that they're doing with Santos Escobar in NXT, absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, I love it.
That guy is, I will say, and I've said this in the reviews many times, that's how you portray a Hispanic character. So, like, what will be one of those guys, what will be the guy that you would like to face? It doesn't have to be a cruiserweight, it can be anybody.
One of my favorites right now, and one I've been paying very close attention to, is Rey Fenix.
Oh, Rey Fenix, yes.
Rey Fenix.
Yes.
He's very, very talented, and he's inspired me a lot lately with his style and his no fear, throwing himself out there. And I that's how I feel. I enjoy how Rey Fenix just goes and does it, no fear.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one thing about Rey Fenix is like he's like flawless when he executes the moves. He's just amazing. Like his execution of every single sequence is, he's just probably one of the best wrestlers in the whole world. I would say the same thing about Pentagon. But
Pentagon too, yeah.
But the one thing is like AEW, I don't know, like lately they're not really like make them look like special anymore. So that's the one thing that like they can do so much with them, and they're not doing it. But it will be fantastic if you two can square off in the ring. That will be for me. And now that we mentioned a little bit about brands and promotions, like what would be your dream promotion to be? Would you like AEW? Would you like WWE, Impact, AAA? Like AAA is also like the master in Mexico.
AAA is one of a thought I've had for a while. But I think one here would be AEW.
AEW, and is that a promotion you watch the most, and on a weekly basis? Is that who you keep in touch?
I mean, I watch everything. I love every style of wrestling. Lucha Libre, the hard style of Japan, American style. I love them all. I study them all. I watch them all. Gotta stay ready,
Oh yeah, that's absolutely right. So talking about styles, then out of all of them, what is like your favorite style? You like to brawl, you like to be a high flyer, you like to submit people. What is like Felipe? When do you enjoy the most? When you're like, just I want to do a tope, and I'm just gonna go through the ropes, and then hey, I'm gonna beat my guy, and then boom.
High flying, definitely. I'd say when I was training, most of the high flying I do now, I self-taught by watching Ray Phoenix, all these other luchadors, Kalisto, Mysterio. I more of a self-taught person. I saw, watched, and I went and did. Even if I didn't, try it once in a training session or something, I just went out and did it. And even though I didn't get it right the first time, I know I'll get it right the second time.
Yeah, well, and that's how you gotta be. Like sometimes, you're not gonna have the proper training, but the more you do it, sometimes in life you gotta self-teach things, and and in your case, like you've been able to master them because I've seen when you do the hurricanes, when you do topes, when you do the suicide dives, all of that. I just see that you execute them pretty well. So you're pretty talented, my friend. You're a natural, like some people will say.
I think self-teach and learning to fail is good because learning to fail will show you how to, be better. The more you fail, the better you become later on.
Oh yeah, exactly, Felipe. So now, walk me through, as of now, what has been your favorite match in your 3 years as a professional wrestler?
One of my favorite matches.
Your best match, something that you're just so proud, be like, hey man, that day I went out and we pretty much, we rocked the house,
One of my favorite matches so far was in Triple WA in Quakertown. It was a tag team, me and Anton Nathan, my tag partner, the Bad Bunnies over here.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. Yeah, right there, Bad Bunnies. Yeah.
It was the Bad Bunnies versus Señor Motivacion, Eddie Velasquez, and Keanu Kokina. It was a tag team match. It was our first time, me and Anton Nathan actually teaming up and going into a match where we were freshly new as a tag team and nobody knew us like that. So we went in there and we felt each other's vibe, and we went through the motions and we got on top. And the crowd reaction was so different. It was so loud. They didn't know who we were yet. They didn't know who the Bad Bunnies were until that night. We won, and the crowd just lost it. They lost it. It was such a good match.
And kind of the reaction when you get them, hey man, we did something special here. We had a moment right there, and that probably as a wrestler, you probably feel the world. That's why you do what you do. For example, for me, I just have the opportunity to talk to you guys about our passion. It's just that makes me want to keep doing what I'm doing. So now I want to ask you, because of the Bad Bunnies, who came out with the idea of the name? How did you guys get together? Hey man, we're gonna be a tag. How do we match our styles? Walk me through all of that.
Me and Anton, we trained together at the Wild Samoans together, and we were coming up with different names, and it was very difficult at the time because Anton Nathan's a very different character from what I am, and when you put two different characters together, sometimes they clash. But me and Anton, we didn't clash like most people would if you just throw two random people together. At first, we had a couple names there. We had some crazy names.
Mhm.
He goes by the SoundCloud sensation, so he had an idea of the SoundCloud luchadors, and I'm like, no, I don't think that's working out. uh, so then took us some time to come up with a name, and Anton actually had an idea of the Bad Bunnies, and I was like, I kind of dig it, but what can we do for a logo? And he said, well, Bad Bunnies. Let's get some rabbits. Let's put the mask on them. Let's put the glasses, his headband, looking like us, and we just went with it, and everybody started liking it. It was very different. A lot of other luchadors and other people in the back said, "This is different. We like this. It's very different from anything else. You know, it's
Oh,
not generic. It's very different. You know, no one has seen it before."
I will say that like it's different, and at the same time, it has like for like the quality or like the detail that people can actually get behind you. Because when they see you with a mask, it's like, okay, these guys are luchadors, so I'm just gonna like drive towards them, because of you and everything. So now that I mentioned that, what for you, Felipe? Do you like more to be a singles wrestler, or you would like to more like be a tag?
That right now with the singles, it's going very well. Obviously with the Peso Crucero and other stuff, but as a tag team, I don't think I've fulfilled what I want as a tag team yet. So I like both, but I'd prefer the tag team right now because I think
Show the goals. Show the goals.
I think I fulfilled a bit with the singles. But for tag team, I really want to maybe win some tag team titles with Anton Nathan. I want the Bad Bunnies to be up here and not, down here because of COVID.
Well, yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like, it's not just but, like for example, like do you enjoy more to just be like the singles guy, or like do you enjoy more like the interaction with the tag? Because we had a lot of our wrestlers that they say, hey, tag is a little bit more easier to do because it's not the whole load of the match is not just on me. So like for you, what do you like more?
uh, I prefer singles. Yeah, singles is good, but tag team is good as well. But singles, I'd go for the singles.
You're all for the singles. I get it, Felipe. But I really hope that like we say, COVID is finally like the various restrictions are being lifted up. So I think that like more shows are gonna like be coming up, so you guys can actually go win a few matches, get like some name recognition even more, and maybe you can lobby for a tag team opportunity, and
Yeah.
then finally you will be like Felipe those traps. You will have like both belts right there, so you can next time we interview you, you can have both goals right there for you. So I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward for that. Now, Felipe, like walk me through about the mask. Are you gonna ever reveal your face? Or you're gonna put the mask on the line in one match? How is that for you? Like,
I've thought about it, but hey, nobody wants to go for it. Maybe a hair versus mask.
I would
No,
say that yes. I would say keep your name, Felipe Jr. Like keep getting it. Give it like a few years, maybe towards the end of your career. In many moons from now, then be like, okay, maybe it's time to like get the mask out because.
yeah,
For
like
example, in Mexico, you were taught like how much the importance of the mask is, right?
oh yeah. You go into every show with the mask on. There's a difference in Mexico. Here in the United States, when you go to training, you just go casual. Some knee pads, some wrestling shoes. In Mexico, if you're a luchador, you go in with your mask. You go to training with your mask. You leave with your mask on.
So yeah, well, that's the tradition. Nobody's supposed to see your. And let me ask you, like, is it easy to breathe? Is it easy to like move with the mask, or you just have to get used to it?
You have to get used to it. When I first did it during training, it was very, very difficult. I would get lightheaded. The mask is very sweaty. Like it was very difficult for me at the time, and there's times I didn't want to. I was like, I can't do this. But after time, I got used to having the mask on everywhere I go, to showing up to these venues, these shows, and leaving with the mask on.
Oh, absolutely. And that's how you're supposed to win. But that's the one thing that, like, wouldn't you agree, Felipe, that now these kind of traditions are more and more dead in professional wrestling? Now we're more used to like being the social media. We just like to share more of our lives. And I don't know about you, but I want your opinion on this. Don't you think that that's kind of like taking the mystique of what professional wrestling is?
Yeah, I think so. I think I know there's a lot of luchadors I've met, and they don't wear the mask all the time, and people see their face, and it takes away the magic, you know.
Yeah. I would say that it's just like not like because I remember the Santo. Supposedly only the wife and his kids saw the real face, but now
Yeah.
no person else like knew who the Santo was. So like, man, don't do that. At least if it's scratchy, if it is too sweaty, just take it off. As long as we don't, the public doesn't see that. That would be different
Yeah.
for you. So like, and now like, do you have any shows coming up? Anything? I know you have like New Year's Brawl. So what? Like, tell me a little bit about it.
Uh, that show, I believe it was a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago. I'd say 3 or 4. Almost a month. They invited me to their first show in front of the crowd. They had the crowd, 6 feet apart from everybody. Their first crowd in over 6 months, and I had a match there, a fatal 4-way, and they enjoyed my work. They said you're very talented. You like you said, they remind me. I remind them of a young Rey Mysterio. So again, they message me and say, "Hey, Felipe, can you come back? We'd like to have you again." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
How does that make you feel, Felipe? How does that make you feel? Hey,
It made me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm putting in the work, and I know I'm putting in the work, and I like that people see that and see my passion for the sport.
yeah, and that's what it's all about. I mean, the more consistent you are, the better you're gonna get, first of all, and also more people are gonna notice you. They're gonna be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this guy has something that he's bringing to the table. Hey, let's check him out." So, like, that's absolutely amazing. So, Felipe, did you have the chance in Mexico though? Did you wrestle with crowd or no crowd?
No crowd, sadly.
No crowd. Okay.
No.
So walk me through that, Felipe. Tell me, like, what is the difference? Because yeah, we hear it from every single wrestler in WWE, AEW, but I want the real experience from from El Campeón. So
It was
how is that?
very different. It's quiet. It doesn't feel the same. I've done other shows besides Mexico without the crowd, and it's so different. You gotta just pretend those fans are there, because when the fans are there, it makes you feel. It's a different feeling. I don't even know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a very different feeling when there's no fans compared when there is fans.
Well, like like the energy you pretend is what like gets you all hyped up, and then you kind of want to do like a tope, or you want to jump from like a ladder, or like
Yeah,
steel cage, and now you don't have any of that. So you just gotta get hyped up out of nowhere. But
yeah.
yeah, so Felipe, like now, walk me through like, have you had any injuries? Throughout your career, or something minor, nothing.
No injuries. Thank the Lord. No
Knock on wood,
injuries.
right? Knock on wood, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
knock on wood.
yeah. Knock on wood. Yes, yes. Like, well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So now, like, walk me through like your favorite memory so far in your wrestling career. What is your favorite memory?
uh, there's so many.
Hey, like,
uh,
you can tell me more than one. Yeah, we have all the time in the world, Felipe.
my favorite memory, one of them was before quarantine. It was the Bad Bunnies going against a team, the Extreme Fahrenheit in Triple WA. We finally had the opportunity to go for the tag team titles. We had a bit of a crowd because COVID was on the rise, and some fans didn't come. It was a very small crowd, but they were still excited for us finally getting our opportunity to go for the tag team titles. Even with the small amount of people we had, it was still, you could feel the crowd reaction and the excitement that they had for us.
Oh, that's good. See, like I know, I'm pretty soon with gold in the tag team division, you know. And now that we're talking about the title, are you allowed to defend that in the States, or you only can defend your title championship in Mexico?
I've actually have defended it recently in the States. I had a match recently. It should be up sometime soon. It's AFCW. It was a triple threat match. Me, Senor Motivacion, Eddie Velasquez, and Draven Blaze, the Jaded Angel Draven Blaze, in a triple threat match. And, well, they couldn't stop the Lucha King because I
That's right,
started.
the Lucha King. Yeah, so like, what would you come out with like the Lucha King? You know, one major thing. You know what? I'm the Lucha King. What would like? How is that? How did that come out? Because I think that like you were just Felipe when I met you, but now it's the Lucha King. You know, going around you like a little bit of like more flair to it, right?
Yeah, I wanted to. I knew once I got on that plane to go to Mexico, I knew that if I come back to the United States with this championship, I'm gonna get the more respect that I think I deserve. I know that I worked hard for it, I'd say, and I deserve to be respected more. Shown a bit more. You know,
Treated better, treated
better,
and
and
with like different set of eyes. It's not just an upper comer. This guy's like that. He's just new. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
No. He has goals, so clearly the championship shows that you can win, and then you can win big, and you're there when the big time comes. You deliver, so that's important. So that's important. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, and it makes me feel that like with that character they have the Lucha King, you can go really low. You can go really far for that. The goal should be for you like AW, WWE, like that, because even in WWE you have the chance to actually do justice to Kalisto, to the Lucha House Party guys, because they're great performers, but the character is just weak. You could be the new Santos Escobar and just be like, okay, don't treat me like that. Lucha Libre actually matters, like he said. Yeah, so that's amazing. So now, Felipe, tell me about you, but like outside of the ring. What kind of person are you? What do you like? Any hobbies? Music. Tell me your life outside of the ring.
Outside of the ring, I'm one of my things I do as a side is I'm learning and teaching myself how to print T-shirts and make my own merchandise, as well as learning how to sew. I want to learn how to do my own mask and maybe make masks for kids and stuff like that. And starting slow, starting with small things first with the shirts, learning how to print the shirts and stuff. And
you can tell them that from me when I'm bored, just in the one match for Roper, that will be really amazing. People will appreciate that. So, if you don't mind me asking, what is like the material for your mask you're wearing right now?
Everyone asks that, and I don't get my gear made here except for my pants. But my masks, they're very special. They come from Mexico.
Oh, okay.
I get them done in Mexico.
What part of Mexico?
Huh?
What part of Mexico?
It's I believe it's not Aztapaluca. It's somewhere around there. I can't remember the name, but my Tio Felipe, he was like, where do you get your mask done, Way? And I'm like, there's a couple of guys that do them, but their quality they're okay quality. I like them, but he was like, no. I'm gonna give you someone who can make your mask, good quality and everything. I'm like, okay. And now all my masks come from Mexico.
That's awesome. That's really great. And I feel that like that even has to have some kind of like like weight on you, because like here, this is all Mexico. It feels Mexican. It just feels like this is lucha libre. I'm a luchador.
And it makes me feel like I have more weight on my shoulders, and
you have to deliver. You have to deliver, because like you carry like a big lineage, and like I said, like like Rey Mysterio, not only him, but like Rey Fenix, all of them. Right now, like Lucha Libre is so respected. because of all of these guys. And then you come here, and then we all, for example, like when I first met you, I was like, okay, if this guy doesn't do a Hurricanrana well done, I don't believe that he's gonna, I don't believe he's a wrestler. It's just a mask, and that's what it is. Why wouldn't you do that? I'm like, okay, and like a young Rey Mysterio, really athletic, flexible, like flying everywhere, execution really great. The frog splash when you did that is like, okay, we're all thinking of Eddie. So like it just like you have a lot to grasp, but when you deliver, like, you really convince me that like you are the guy that you say you are. So it's extremely amazing. So you keep in touch with your Mexican roots, right? So like, do you listen to any Mexican like music, any like that, like any norteño, ranchero, all of that?
Oh, ranchero a lot.
I know, like Vicente Fernandez, right? Vicente Fernandez, yeah.
I listen to a lot. Even when I took my trips, I got into the music in Mexico. My tío showed me more música, and I was like, I like it. I'm enjoying it. I listen to it now a lot more because of them.
Oh, wow, good. Now I'm going to ask you, to like send, like, because it's like the Hispanic Heritage Month,
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to, in Spanish, because, tú sabes nuestra audiencia, and Road Break also, like, I do the reviews en español, so quiero que, por favor, mandes un mensaje a toda la audiencia hispana que ve este show y les digas todo lo que tú quieras acerca de ti, del Lucha King, pues ahí está. Sí, danos ahí tu... Habla, Felipe.
Quiero decirle a toda mi gente en México que estamos aquí y estamos bien, estamos luchando. Y quiero que todo el mundo se acercan, estamos en un tiempo difícil y la única cosa que necesitamos ahora es nosotros.
Claro.
Y que, todo el mundo que se cuiden y que están cerca con la familia. Porque eso es la más importante cosa que necesitamos ahora, es la familia.
Exactly right. Like, for the English audience, Felipe just said, the most important thing that we have and we need is our family. So, like, just please, everybody, take care of each other, like, love each other, because you don't know what can happen. Thankfully, the pandemic is going away. So some people that still have the disease, like, it's not as bad as the way it was. So, like, that's what he was saying. And, happy Hispanic Heritage Month, from Felipe and myself. So, Felipe, now, like you say, you have these shows up and coming. Where we can find you in the social media world? Where we can find Felipe in the social media waves so we can start following you?
You can find me. I'm not everywhere. I wouldn't say Twitter. I don't know why. I think everyone says, Felipe, you should be on Twitter. I don't know. Everybody uses Twitter now. I am on Instagram. Lucha King. It's Lucha_King Felipe Jr. I'm also on Facebook, Felipe Jr. And I also have a fan page on the Felipe Jr. Facebook profile. There's a fan page. I think it's El Más Chingón Felipe Jr.
El Más Chingón, yeah. So, like, you say, you have, like, are the Bad Bunnies getting together soon for like for shows, or like it was just for now the King?
For now, it's the King, but I know Anton Nathan has got to be watching this. He's got to be watching. I know, Anton, you're watching, so we bringing back the Bad Bunny's way, or okay?
Yeah, call him out. Yeah, Robert is for this. Robert is for all these things. Call him out to be like, hey, bro, are we a tag or what?
I know he's doing his thing, his singles as well, but hey, maybe a Bad Bunny, Los Bad Bunnies reunion sometime soon, huh?
Yeah.
Come on, Anton. I know you're watching, amigo.
that will be cool. So now that you're mentioning amigos, here's the floor for you, Felipe, so you can actually tell everybody from your friends, family, everybody that is watching in English. So, like, tell them anything that you would like to say, any advice or anything, any words of inspiration.
I just want inspiration. Some inspiration. I got some inspiration.
There you
go. Okay. Well, look. I've always been told no through training, through being on certain shows. I've been told no. That's a big thing, but you just gotta go out there and show what you got. Show the world what you can do. Go out there. express yourself, how you feel, go out. Because I was always told no, and I always believed no. And to me, I was always that person to be like, oh, okay, so no is no. No, I went out and I did my thing. I broke the system. I broke the rules. And now where I'm at is campeón because I went out and did my thing. I went out and broke the rules. So sometimes you have to break the rules to get a step further to what you want to be, who you want to be, and to be successful in this crazy world.
Oh yeah. That's the one thing we determine. As many no's as you can get, you will have yes. You will have yeses, and you're the proof of that. Because see, like if you wouldn't have believe in yourself and keep sticking with it, stick it with it. Hey, maybe like one day it will all come together. One day everything will like the pieces will become like the puzzle.
People,
And now
I've had people that really wanted to stop me and try to get me off my game, but I kept going. I kept pushing, and that's what I want a lot of people out there to do. Even if you get the no, even if there's people that want to take you down, you keep going, you keep pushing, because the proof is right here, senores y senores.
Yeah, right. Yeah, even like I wanted to shout out our friend Ronnie Flores. Like tell her we say hi. She was here.
I think we have Miss Ronnie Flores, huh? She's here, Miss Ronnie. She's actually a part of Bad Bunny. She was our manager. What you saw in Outbreak.
Yes.
She helped me and Anton Nathan out a lot.
And she's going to be also, I think, in the New Year's Brawl, because I've seen that, I think.
Yes, she will be in the New Year's Brawl. That show next year, senores y senores, set your calendars, because January 23rd is going to be a great show, brand new show and everything.
But plug it in, so where is it going to be? Where is it going to be at?
It's in West Michigan. The address is on their profile and everything. They're on Instagram. It's Enterprise Pro, and on Facebook they are also Enterprise Pro Wrestling. They're new to the wrestling world, so should be a very exciting show. It has a lot of amazing athletes, and I think it's going to be a great one that people should not miss.
And are you going to be defending the championship, or you don't know how it's going to be yet?
I think that one's a secret for people to see.
Yeah, let's save it a secret. Yeah, let's give it a surprise. It's going to be a holiday surprise. Ronnie! Hey, how are you? How you been?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Like Jean Paul is like he's just doing other commitments for now, but like I'm just the one running the show. So like New Year's Brawl, right, Ronnie? You're gonna go back to the square circle. So are you excited about that?
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait for COVID to be over.
Yeah, let me tell you, thank you so very much for the opportunity that you gave us, because we had a great time with you, and I think everybody loved the job we did. So absolutely, thank you to you for that opportunity.
No, thank you guys. It was an amazing time.
Yeah, so you guys ready for that, right? January 23rd, you said, right?
Yeah,
23rd. Finally, COVID is over. Let's keep our fingers crossed, and I want to see both of you in the ring. So I want both of you to commit that after the show, you guys are gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about how did the show go.
Definitely.
Oh, of course.
That's really amazing. Absolutely, guys. So thank you so very much, Felipe, Ronnie. It's been amazing to see you. Look at you, seeing that you're doing fantastic. So please, both of you, keep taking care of each other. COVID is still a thing, so just try to stay healthy out there. And like I said, don't forget to check all the social media that we have, the Road Break, OG Road Break, and the original Road Break, and also you guys are going to be featured also in the All Everything Entertainment. Is our new partner, is our new house. So you guys are going to be everywhere, in a SoundCloud. You're going to have even more outlets for all of you guys to be with us. So like I said, I'm hoping that after January 23rd, I have another interview with both of you, because I know that you guys are going to perform amazing. So I want to hear your thoughts. I want highlights. All right?
Sure.
So Ronnie, Felipe, thank you so very much. And family, thank you to every single one of you for watching the content. And I'll see you guys in a little bit, because I'm going to be talking with Jean Paul about Victory Road Impact. You guys should be watching that too.
Yeah,
we will.
Of course.
All right, then, guys.
Muchas
gracias, to both of you, and I'll see you guys soon. So, Robert family, I'll say bye saying the